Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Mind your business. Only on Money FM 89.3.
All right, welcome to Mind Your Business with me, Imad Akhtar. Now, from facilitating cross-border payments in seconds to unlocking new models of finance in DeFi, stablecoins have moved far beyond the buzzword stage. They're becoming infrastructure. Whether you're sending remittances across borders or parking assets during market turbulence, stablecoins are becoming a fundamental part of how value moves digitally. But behind every stablecoin is a question. Who do we trust to issue, back, and manage these digital dollars? That brings us to today's guest, a key player at the heart of this evolving ecosystem. He's leading a company that's not only reimagining digital asset infrastructure, but also ensuring it's built on the bedrock of compliance, transparency, and innovation. So let's welcome him on the show, Vincent Chok, the CEO of First Digital. Good morning, Vincent.
Good morning, Imad.
Yeah, nice to have you on. Now, first things first, give us your take on the current state of the stablecoins ecosystem and the trends that are shaping the landscape today.
First of all, thank you for having me on your show. Really appreciate it. And yes, the current trend for stablecoin is really taken off in the past year or so. We see the U.S. passing the first reading of the Genius Act. Hong Kong recently just approved, and now it's going to be law for the stablecoin bill as well. And we know that there's a lot of countries, UAE is also regulating stablecoins. So we see a lot of institutional players, governments, private companies now really moving into the stablecoin space because of the realization that without stablecoins, it's really difficult to achieve the Web3 initiatives that a lot of people think that is coming soon.
Vincent, can you share the story behind the founding of First Digital and the gap in the market that you were trying to bridge?
Sure, yeah. First Digital was founded in 2019, and we knew that there was going to be a lot of regulations coming into the stablecoin space. We got in because we were providing a lot of custody services in the digital asset and crypto world, whereby providing custody services. At the time, the trend was really custody because there was not a lot of custodians in the space helping industry really custodying crypto as well as real assets that were tokenized. And that's really our entrance into the digital asset space, where then, innovators like USDT, Tether, and came into the space and started stablecoins. And we were working with another issuer on stablecoin reserves. Managing the reserves was very important, providing them the proper financial rails, putting the funds into proper investments, making sure that the funds are safely guarded. So those are the key points for us. When we started our own stablecoin, we launched FDUSD June 2023 because, again, we knew the regulations was coming in Hong Kong. We're based in Hong Kong. We're a registered trust company in Hong Kong. So we knew it was coming, and we wanted to be a step ahead of the game. And that's the reason why we launched FDUSD. Fun fact is that FDUSD was the quickest to really hit $1 billion market cap at the time. With 4 months, we hit $1 billion market cap, whereby other stablecoins took a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, just curious on that point, how First Digital ensures the continued stability of FDUSD, especially in times of the market turbulence or external financial shocks that we've witnessed of late.
Well, it's really important that any stablecoin issuers provide full transparency. So how do you do that? Well, we have to get third-party attestations, meaning, audit firms to audit our underlying reserves. And in this case, for a stablecoin, underlying reserves are very important because we want to only invest the reserves backing a stablecoin with cash and cash equivalent. And what are those? You have U.S. Treasuries, for example, reverse repos, term deposits. So those are very liquid assets, whereby if there was a redemption required in the market, we would have to be able to redeem those and pay the clients back almost immediately or as soon as possible. So for us to have full transparency, we also need to have not only attestations, we have to understand how to deal with KYC, AML rules, reporting obligations, who our clients are. So there's a lot that goes into really operating and running a successful stablecoin by providing those comfort and credibility. You have to have some credibility, or else people just will not use your stablecoin.
Yeah, can you give us a sense of the breadth of clients that you serve?
We're B2B, so most of our clients are institutional. So they're like market makers and OTCs, people that are minting and redeeming. So we have to fully onboard them. We need to know exactly who they are, their source of wealth, source of funds, just like any company onboarding with a financial institution. So those are very important requirements.
And what's the feedback you've received from your customers on the services that you offer?
I think it's very positive. We have a lot of positive feedback. It's because we go beyond. We take that extra step to show our clients that we're providing a very professional and safe service, because you're managing a lot of money and they have to have full confidence that when they need to redeem, so redeeming means converting the FDUSD stablecoin back to fiat currency, and in this case is the US dollar, that the money will be sent on time, that everything will be according to the agreements.
Yeah, and when you say you go the extra mile to meet the needs of your clients, are there any examples or use cases that you can share with us that exemplify that?
Yeah, I mean, we're essentially a 9-to-5 institution business, but sometimes this is a very global environment, and you're serving not only the Asian market, you're serving people in Europe, people in Africa, people in South America and US. So it's a global thing, and sometimes our staff are just working around the clock, even though offices are closed, because we know that it's really important traders are able to really get the stable coins that they need into the market and start trading and take advantage of that current situation. So when the markets are optimal for purchasing other stablecoins or other crypto, they need to pair that. And that's when we really need to be standing by so that they can have that and meet those opportunities.
Yeah, speaking of opportunities, Vincent, I want to venture into a recent partnership that you've entered into with FOMO Pay, a licensed major payment institution in Singapore and Hong Kong. What does that partnership suggest about the acceptance of stablecoins as a payment method in the APAC region?
I think that's really important. Payment is a very major use case for stablecoins going forward. And we know that partnering with FOMO Pay, I think that's a really big step for us to be included as one of the digital currencies that's available for users in Singapore to purchase items. So that, to me, is an important part of the growth of not only the digital payment space, but also for us as a stablecoin issuer.
And what's the next frontier for First Digital? Any exciting projects or new services you're planning that will further strengthen the company's position in the crypto space?
I think it's not only the crypto space. Where our focus is really to meet the demands of the emerging market requirements. We know that there are, you've heard it for many years, how do we solve the unbanked problems? Well, I think the real answer is already here. I think that's stablecoin. How do we meet those demands is, I think, because stablecoins, digital currency, there's a lot of unbanked people that are not able to pass KYC, not because they don't qualify in the sense of where they're from or who they are, how they grow up or what education they are. It's just that financial requirements and the cost for banks to onboard clients are just really overly expensive, and they don't want to take that risk. So these people remain unbanked. And I think those are the markets that we really want to serve with stablecoin and digital economy, dealing with decentralized platforms that can provide people with wallets so that they can start creating a financial footprint for themselves, creating, a savings through digital assets, whether it be, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or in the future, real-world assets. And real-world assets are backed by real-world investments like bonds, funds, stock market, things that are what we hold today in the traditional, world.
All right, Vincent, before I let you go, we're almost out of time, but just for listeners out there who might be aspiring entrepreneurs and want to, set up a business like the one that you've set up, could you dive into some of the challenges you faced when you were shaping the direction of the company and maybe some of the lessons you learned along the way?
The biggest challenge, I think, what we have to really look at is build your company like you're regulated, regardless if there are licensing requirements in those jurisdictions at the time. Always consider that regulation and licensing are coming. And I think the second biggest thing is also, if you're dealing with consumers, make sure that you have safeguards in place. Make sure that you have processes and controls, because those things can really come and grip you in the back. So, we have to deal with a lot of eyes, and eyes like regulators, audits, tax, and most important, this is a very big world that are now connected through the internet. So information spreads very quickly, whether it be good or bad. So you need to prepare. Always have, compliance is the number one. I think compliance is always the first thing you need to focus on running any business that involves funds and money.
All right, Vincent, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks so much for sharing your time and your insights with us.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Have a good one. That was Vincent Chok, CEO of First Digital, and you're listening to Money FM 89.3.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.